Hi, I'm Robert Reil. I design business systems architecture for scalable growth. If you're growing your business and things are getting harder instead of easier, this is why. Growth is usually seen as success. More customers, more employees, more opportunities. And on the surface, that's true. But what most people don't realize, growth doesn't just increase opportunity, it increases pressure. Every new customer adds complexity. Every new employee adds coordination. Every new decision adds strain to the system. And if the structure underneath it isn't built for that, growth doesn't strengthen the business, it starts to break it. Early stage businesses run on flexibility. The owner handles multiple roles, communication is direct, decisions happen quickly. There's no rigid system. In the beginning, that works. It feels efficient. It feels fast. It feels like control. But what's actually happening, the business is operating informally. And you can't scale if you're informal. That informal system only works at a small scale because as activity increases, the same flexibility that helped you grow starts creating friction. You start to notice small issues first. Work stalls, responsibilities overlap, people aren't sure who owns what. Communication becomes inconsistent. And then something else happens. Decisions start slowing down because everything begins routing back to one person, and it's all on them, the owner. That's where the system starts collapsing because the business is no longer operating as a system. It's operating through a person. Growth multiplies complexity. More customers require more coordination. More employees require clearer roles. More decisions require faster systems. Without structure, the organization becomes overloaded. And when that happens, leaders become the bottleneck. Every decision flows through them. Every issue requires their attention. And instead of the business scaling, it slows down. If you've ever felt like things were easier before you grew, that's not a coincidence. That's a structural signal. Businesses that scale successfully don't rely on flexibility forever. They design structure intentionally. Processes are documented. Responsibilities are clearly defined. Systems guide decisions instead of people holding everything together. And this changes everything because now work doesn't depend on memory. Communication doesn't depend on chasing people. Decisions don't depend on one person being available. The system starts carrying the load instead of the people inside of it. The challenge is most businesses don't realize where structure is missing. They feel the pressure, they see the inefficiencies, but they can't clearly identify the gaps. That's where mapping the system becomes critical. Because once you can see how the business actually operates, you can start designing it intentionally. And usually that's through process flow. Instead of reacting to problems as they appear, the challenge is most businesses don't realize where structure is missing. They feel the pressure, they see the inefficiencies, but they can't clearly identify the gaps. That's where making the system becomes critical. Because once you can see how the business actually operates, you can start designing it intentionally instead of reacting to problems as they appear. Growth doesn't break businesses. Weak systems break under growth. The difference between chaos and stability is structural clarity. That's the difference structure makes. Once the system is visible, better decisions become possible. I want to thank you for stopping by and hearing another video. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you.